In the 12.0 video, I touched on what I refer to as the compatibility line, that moment in gaming history marked by the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One shifting their respective product lines over to x86 architecture, marking what should allow all games developed from 8th generation on, Nintendo notwithstanding, to be backward compatible with whatever hardware is to follow. With Sony and Microsoft having, after a fashion, locked in their 10th generation hardware launches for 2028, I figured it would be a good chance to sit down and assess where the entire industry stands, how more games could be brought forward across the compatibility line in the future, and how to take a consumer confidence-driven approach to your own purchases. We'll start with the easy one. Steam in particular, and PC gaming in general, is largely exempt from the trappings of generational shift because architecture has been uniform since time immemorial. There are still licensing limitations that will cause games to get delisted, but having a single game library on a single storefront with a single set of upgrade servers means that you can buy whatever you want in full confidence that you'll be able to access any of it at any time you need to. I have a lot of games on my Steam account that have long since been nuked out of existence by licensing, and they're all available and ready for me to play at a moment's notice. Steam should outlive all of us. The verdict? Proceed with confidence. Usually terms like too big to fail or monopoly are flatly negative, but they become extremely positive when they're used to describe the security of your investment, and that certainly applies to Valve. As console brands go, Xbox is the one you should feel the most protected with when buying games. Microsoft has earned an almost Steam-like reputation for long-term purchase recognition, with the Xbox 360 storefront still going strong after 17 years, without so much as the slightest hint of discontinuing support. It is a pity that they aren't interested in navigating the territory of license renewals when bringing games across the compatibility line, because an Xbox future without franchises like Project Gotham Racing is regrettable. But the bar has been set so miserably low by the competition that Xbox Live is exemplary in comparison. The verdict? Microsoft likes to wear the pro-preservation hat in the midst of their contemporaries, but true commitment to that cause would look a lot more proactive. Still, you can buy just about anything digitally from the Xbox store with confidence that it'll be there decades into the future when you feel like revisiting it. That I was pleasantly surprised when backward-compatible purchases on the PS3 were respected when Sony rebooted the PlayStation Plus program earlier this year under the Game Pass model tells you just how low expectations have been set here. Rather than follow Microsoft's example in maintaining support for legacy platforms, Sony can't seem to shut off digital storefronts quickly enough, getting away with it on the PSP before backtracking on planned PS3 and Vita shutdowns upon being hit with player backlash. All this from a division whose CEO is on record squicking out at the thought of playing older games and failing to comprehend why anyone else would want to. Plus Premium is legitimately bringing games over the compatibility line in regards to past purchases, but their molasses-paced release of them doesn't inspire confidence. The verdict? Anything on the right side of the compatibility line should be a safe purchase, which in hindsight makes my Assassin's Creed Unity example from the last video a flawed one. I should have used some PS3 game. However, keep any PS3s or Vitas close at hand because it's doubtful we'll see any of those games make the journey over anytime soon. And everything I just said about PlayStation applies to Nintendo. Backward compatibility comes begrudgingly and in small doses, and Nintendo hasn't even crossed a discernible compatibility line of their own. Rest assured, if they do settle on long-term architecture, the NVIDIA Tegra X1 isn't it. Virtual Console notwithstanding, BC has never supported more than a single generation. The Game Boy Advance supported Game Boy games, the DS supported Game Boy Advance games but not legacy Game Boy games, the 3DS supported DS games but absolutely nothing in the Game Boy line, the Wii supported GameCube games, quite admirably I should add, and the Wii U supported Wii games but not GameCube, which is especially a shame since an HDMI-equipped platform that played GameCube discs would have been amazing. Nintendo has a habit of gunning down online storefronts the instant they feel they can get away with it, with the legendary Wii Shop channel already a distant memory, and the Wii U and 3DS storefronts unlikely to get a call from the governor before their planned March 2023 executions. Putting backward compatibility gripes aside, the Switch as a platform should lend itself unusually well to longevity, being a cartridge-based console with the only moving part being a system fan. There's value to that, and I'll give credit where it's due. The verdict? You should really know by now what you're getting into with Nintendo, so when buying games, just be mindful of how reliant they might be on the online backend. The Switch has been enough of a resounding success that we should at least expect one generation of backward compatibility from Nintendo's next device, but they could also throw all that out the window with another avant-garde interface concept. The ebb and flow of online services is a consumer rights disaster that we all have to learn to navigate as we move into the digital age. I genuinely believe things will get better one way or another as time passes, but it's best to be mindful of the long-term implications of every platform holder's hardware realities and digital policies and practices to minimize risk wherever possible. That's all for now. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm Patrick Mifflin, sounding off.